Welcome back. This is Fearless Eagle, and today, or let me say tonight, because it's at night right now, we're going to be diving into the most chilling murder case. You've probably never heard of this one. It's a case that is very strange, and it left the detectives scratching their heads. Yeah. Now, for years, a victim was found in a most unusual circumstance. And what was interesting is suspects who all seemed guilty, yet none could be proven beyond doubt. They couldn't prove that they're guilty. That is the other part. And then a final twist that will make you, question everything that you thought you knew. I was sitting there and I'm like, what? I'm just kidding. We're going to be taking a dive in this story together. But this is the unsolved murder that left detectives, I tell you, detectives, it left them baffled. So stay with me until the end, and the final details will change the way you see the entire case. So I'm gonna dive into it, and like I said, we're diving into this for the first time together. I just saw like the first scene in terms of how the whole murder case came about. That's what I saw. The rest, I don't know. We'll be finding out together. So let's dive into the story. So I'll be using my phone, as my trusty that will help me go into the story. So the discovery. It all began on a rainy Thursday evening in 1997. That is a year before I was born. Now you know my age. Anyway, it's fine. It's still cool. A jogger cutting through a quick park stumbled across something unusual. A man slumped against a bench. A bench. Let's carry on. At first glance, it looked like someone simply passed out. But as the jogger drew closer, the scene turned sinister. There's some sinister stuff happening here, hey? The man was dead. Not just dead, but positioned deliberately. As if staged. His wallet was missing, yet his expensive wristwatch and jewelry remained untouched. Okay, that is some interesting scene right there. Imagine yourself finding a person who's dead. Things are missing, but there's things that should be missing that are not missing. Yeah, that does not make sense, bro. That does not make sense to me. I don't know, comment if it makes sense to you. But let's carry on. There was no sign of a struggle, no witnesses, no fingerprints except the victim's own. Okay, so now let's move on to the victim's life, so that we can get to understand what's going on here. You know, what was happening. Hey, like, you can't just have a person out of nowhere in the park and don't know what's going on. Okay, so let's dive into the victim's life. The victim was identified as Daniel Hodges, a 42-year-old accountant known for his quiet life. Accountant, that should already give you like eyebrows going up, like, yo, yeah, accountants have interesting lives, eh? Like, interesting lives. I would say they're targets, but he had a quiet life, so yeah. Neighbors described him as polite, predictable. That's a problem right there. Can't be living a predictable life. Why are you living a predictable life? But it's fine. Let's go on. Probably that's why he's dead. And perhaps a little too private. Yeah, I need to live a private life. I love a private life. But